What is up, YouTube? It's Taylor here, and today I'm here to share with you 4 things we wish we would have known before purchasing our first rental property. So if you're new to the channel, thank you for jumping on. I am Taylor. I am an employee benefits specialist by day, and that is what I do on a daily basis to build my business. But I also have lots of other endeavors that I work with on a daily basis. So if you want to learn more about my journey, about money mindset, investing, and so much more, please subscribe to my channel. I appreciate it so much. So with that, I'm going to jump into this video because there are some things, specifically 4, that come to mind that I wish that my husband and I would have known before we started with this rental property that we have. So we closed on our first rental property or income property here in May of 2021. And obviously I posted a video about it, and I can share that in the link below as well. But basically what we're looking at is we've read so many books. We have learned by watching other people do it and watching YouTube videos and all of these other resources that we have, but we didn't actually do it ourselves. So I'm here to share with you those 4 things that we wish we would have known. The first thing is the amount of stress that it put on our personal relationship. I cannot say this enough, that communication needs to be number 1, the absolute pinnacle of your relationship, especially when it comes to dollar bills and big dollar bills, and specifically investment dollar bills. So that was so key, and I appreciate that my husband is a saint when it comes to communicating, and we were on the same page quite frequently, but there is a level of stress that comes with that I was not prepared for, and he was not prepared for either. So just knowing where you stand is very important. There's going to be things that come at you that are curveballs, and you just simply need to learn to grow together as a couple and get through that. So if you are either investing or you're interested in investing, whether it's your spouse that you're partnering with, or an actual business partner, or multiple people, this is, I feel, would be the same for all of those different things. So these are my just general tips based on my journey with my husband and I as our first property. So that one would be the first one, the amount of stress that we felt around that, simply because it was not only a new thing for us that we were actually taking action on, but it was also a big dollar amount for us at that time that we had not been, we haven't invested that much money into anything before, other than, of course, ourselves and in our businesses. But that would be the first thing, is that we took on a lot that we got through. And so I know that some couples are not made to work together, and some couples do not, work together in a professional setting very well. So I'm really grateful that we do have a great relationship through work and through our careers that allowed us to easily do this rental property together without any hiccups. Okay. The next thing, the second tip that I will share with you, is that the amount of money that you think you need is not going to be enough money. So if you're looking at down payments, closing costs, repairs, literally whatever it is, you're going to need more than what you think you will need. And that is, again, speaking from experience. When we did this, we forked over more than what we were expecting to. So just knowing that I'm sharing that detail with you, hopefully it will help avoid some of those stressors that affected us for that first, that first thing that I mentioned as well. So you're going to need more than you think to make it work. And that means, depending on the size of your project, is going to be varying in degrees of that as well. So again, for our property, we ended up spending an extra $5,000-$6,000 that we weren't planning on. And if you're looking at a multi-million-dollar property or a complex, apartment building or something like that, obviously that's going to be also magnified towards the level of that project. So that's something to keep in mind, that you will need more than what you think you will need. And also with that, I feel like comes a peace of mind. So if we had budgeted for $50,000 and we only ended up spending $30,000 on the investment, obviously there's a level of peace that comes with that, of knowing that you were over-prepared, versus coming in and being under-prepared for the dollar amounts needed to close. Obviously, there's some additional things that go into that on the stress level. I'm grateful that we were able to get the property and use my husband's money from his business to be able to fund that. And we did have enough, which was nice. But I want you to keep that in mind, is that you have all of these different buckets of money. We have all these different buckets of money. And if you are expecting to spend that amount and that amount is not that, then obviously you need to tweak and figure that out. Nothing's ever going to be perfect, especially in investing. And the next piece that I have here, the third thing is that questions were coming at us very quickly, and we needed to know how to solve them. So the how is very big in this point, is that the banks needed information from us, the tenants had questions for us, all these things. We needed to know how to answer that. We needed to know how to set up our business in order to maximize tax savings. We needed to know those items. And the fourth thing is that we needed to know them quickly. So not only do we need to know how to answer them correctly to get us set up correctly, but also they needed that information quickly. So time waits for no one. Opportunities wait for no one. And we knew that we needed to jump on this very quickly. So we literally had people waiting for us, for Michael and I, to make a decision on something before we could take it to that next step. So again, communication was absolutely vital, and communication with the seller or the realtor or the banker or whoever it is that you're working with, they're going to need to know quickly and how you want it to be done. So that was very interesting about how we needed to be, him and I needed to be on the same page in order to decide quickly and relay that information. So the way that the two of us work is we analyze things together. He is more of the analytical, strategic type of, point of view, and I work with the communication side of things with the other people, the other parties that are involved. So yeah, it works out really well the way that the two of us work together, but you need to know those things before you get into something like this, and especially if you're trying to close quickly because of an opportunity, because you don't want to miss the boat, because you don't want someone else to scoop up and get it, then that's even more so important to keep on the same page. And a lot of these things too, we did talk about before we actually agreed to, to the property, but there's just some things you really can't prepare for. And that's just the simple facts of being in business and trying to grow and expand with your investments. So those are my 4 things that we wish we would have known before getting our first rental property. If you currently have properties, I would love to connect with you. We are actively looking for our next property. So comment down below if you guys do have investment properties. Would love to connect more with you on that. Speaking of which, I'd love to connect more with you on social media, so please follow me at bizletay on different platforms. I do post content pretty frequently, and I love to be on there and be able to share my journey with you. So if you did like that, please hit that like button, please subscribe, and share this video with your friends, and we will see you on the next video. See you later.